All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D games set in my weird homebrew D&D campaign setting, and other people below me are the people that are probably plotting my demise as we speak. So
Yeah, I'm lazy.
I would, but it's just not worth the effort.
Oh, how much is that? That hurts more. It's like,
Yeah, it's like,
you're not worth the time.
It's
Wade,
Wednesday and my Wednesdays are busy, so
Wade, I go with you, but I don't wanna.
So yeah, announcements. First things first. This Saturday, Elias Thompson, normally one of my players in Realms of the Wild, is actually be running the Stargate RPG on Zelda Universe's Twitch channel, and I am going to be playing a character, which I'm very excited about. I finished building the character this afternoon. They're very cool. They're a Tok'ra. So, and the Stargate RPG is a cool system that I haven't had a chance to play yet, so I'm excited. So definitely tune in for that. And kind of a cool indie game came out this past week. Hasn't been a whole lot of buzz for it, but anyone that's a fan of the Legend of Zelda series, the most recent game came out. To very little fanfare or critical acclaim or anything like that. It definitely.
Oh, I know that game, Tunic.
Yeah, there we go. A buddy of mine that streams just hasn't gotten a copy of it yet. And so people are like, oh, do you want to play Tears of the Kingdom? He's like, oh, I don't have it. He's like, well, let's just play Tunic and call it, the better Zelda. And he's like, yes. So I still need to play that game because I haven't yet. And it's like 100% made for me.
I've played it all the way through once. I need to play it again to get the good ending.
My buddy likes linguistics and stuff like that, and so he spent he streamed the whole game, and he spent a massive part of his stream decoding and deciphering the Tunic language, and he was super
is a
thrilled
damn
about
clue
that.
in that game. Everything is a clue in that game.
I was more happy about the fact that the instruction manual pages that you find 100% are homages to the Super Nintendo A Link to the Past instruction manual, which not only did I used to own, but because I was a child with no friends, I used to read it all the time. Like when I would get bored, I would just take the little instruction manuals from various games and I would just read them in bed. Because that's what and I love that one.
Was one of those manuals Earthbound?
I did not play Earthbound until I was an adult. And I've never played Earthbound 0. And I've only gotten like 2 or 3 hours into the Super Nintendo Earthbound. Like I don't think I ever even got the 4th character in my playthrough.
Aww.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list. I have a very large.
It's good.
I have a very large stack of games. I'm like, I still need to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Because that, I'm probably like 2 hours away from the end of the game. And I keep going back and doing all these side quests because I had to unlock all the classes. And then I have to unlock all the upgrades for the classes. And then I have to unlock... Specifically, I unlock classes specifically because they also have outfits that go with them, and I need to make sure that all of my characters look really cool when we're beating the boss. So, I spend more time in most RPGs making sure I look cool, including Tears of the Kingdom. I will wear gear in that is not upgraded and does not give me any benefit because it looks cool. And every so often I don't wear a headpiece because I want Link's luscious locks flowing in the air. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's all for an announcer moment. I was trying to stall a little bit for time because we do have one more player that will hopefully be joining us. I was seeing if I could waste enough time to have them show up before the game started, but
Yeah, I might as well just start.
yeah,
Yeah.
they can join whenever. So now it is time for us to return to Traversing the Veil. A disaster has befallen the party. After discovering ruins at the southern tip of this fading isle, the party gathered with everyone else in the forward command base to figure out who was going to go where while exploring these ruins. While they were there, Smegwick saw a face that looked familiar right after explosions started happening. And knowing that something was afoot, the party immediately made their way to the docks to ensure that their ship and the rest of the ships in the fleet were not damaged or sabotaged in any way. And as they got there, they discovered that sabotage had happened to every ship except theirs. Realizing something significantly more heinous was about to happen. They succeeded in protecting all the rest of the ships, but were later arrested and accused of being the perpetrators of the explosion. After having a conversation with their council, they have now relegated themselves to having to endure a trial to hopefully prove their innocence. So, I think when we last left you guys, it was getting close to night because you'd had your conversation with Declan, and
There was the possibility of laying a trap.
What's there?
and
Us
then
being moved to a room not in the cells to see if anyone would take the cheese.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Right.
So, and then Aoi obviously is on, excuse me, is in her own room and will be having her council showing up tomorrow morning. So,
Yeah,
I can't remember.
she is exhausted and needs sleep.
I can't remember. Did you guys decide to go to the prison or whatever it's called that I can't remember what the nautical term is?
Brig.
The brig. Did you guys decide to go to the brig, or were you going to stay
we were
in your room?
moved. We were moved to a room per Declan with a window access, with the possibility of laying a trap to see if someone
Oh, okay. So you
would
guys,
go for that.
yeah. So you guys aren't in the brig. You're specifically in a less secure place than you were before.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, as night begins to fall, do you guys want to set up a watch? Do you all want to go to? Do you guys all want to go to sleep?
Oh, he is sleeping.
Well, I am laying the alarm spell
Okay.
or ritual cast on that. If there's any way to have Spitwit kind of like placed as a monitor to by the window, but keep him hidden, since he not only has dark vision, he has blind sight.
So
So
here's
figure
a
that kind
dumb question I don't think I've ever considered. Do familiars actually need to sleep?
They're intelligent creatures, so I presume we could like take turns on a watch either way.
So I guess the question I have to ask you then is, you can basically request that Spitwick stay up all night and risk a level of exhaustion, or can just take one watch.
I've heard he would take one watch,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I think
he's
I'll-
loyal, but not that loyal.
I'll still have him take it with me, just because I feel like Smegwick might still be in it if they are trying to fuck with him. But I think they're trying to fuck with the entire group. So
All right. So who wants to take the first watch?
I will.
Okay. So why don't you roll me a perception check,
right.
Reggie?
19.
So, as your watch kind of goes along, not a whole lot happens. You kind of check out the window every so often. The docks themselves are still relatively busy, and there is a ship that arrives because you guys don't get to bed till close to like 10, 11 o'clock because having to talk with Declan and everything. So close to like 1 in the morning, near when your watch is going to be getting over, you do see a boat dock, and about half a dozen people get off of it and go immediately into to the town. And once they or the base, and once they get into the once they get into the base, you can't tell where they go. But
Is it really just me who is the only one awake right now, or are other people awake just because?
Everyone else in the party is asleep.
Okay.
However, there's a night watch on the boat. You know, there's always someone awake on the boat. So,
and the alarm spell is up.
but as far as the people in your room, it's just you.
All right. So I saw them go into like the compound, but as soon as they entered, I kind of lost sight of them. I didn't see where they went as soon as they entered.
Yeah,
what you
because
said?
you physically lost sight. Like
I physically lost sight. Okay.
because again, because the island has raised, the docks go up, and then once they get probably about 10, 20 feet off of the docks, all you can see is a cliff wall.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm not getting the sense that, for all we know, they could just be a new party that just arrived with like all the other hunters. I'm not gonna say anything just yet until I'm trying to keep my ears open for any kind of like possible commotion. Doesn't matter what kind of commotion, just as long as there is a commotion. That sounds like it's possibly close enough to be considered like happening on the ship that we're on. But if that is not happening, then I'm just going to keep it to myself, at least for now.
all right.
And I guess once a certain time rolls around, I'll wake up whoever wants to take next watch.
So who's going to take second watch? Okay,
I'll
Arai.
take second.
All right. As soon as Arai tags me out, I just let them know, like, hey, just a heads up. I did see some new type folks come into the compound here. So if you see anyone that you don't remember ever seeing before, keep an eye on them.
Is it Aui's council? What did they look like? What were they wearing?
Yeah, that's right, Jody. What did they look like when I caught sight of them? I rolled a 19.
One of them was significantly taller than the rest. If you had to guess, it was probably one person with 3 guards and then 2 kind of attendants with them.
Okay.
So it's theoretically possible it was Aui's council. But yeah, only 3 of the 6 people were armed.
Okay. Taller guy, kind of important looking. had a couple guards with him, then a couple others holding papers, possibly her council, but I don't really know what a council types look like in her world. So, just something to keep in the back of your head. And then I just walk over to the nearest like box and I sit against it to start trying to sleep.
Okay. So, Arai, go ahead and give me a perception check. I have now rolled this die twice and had it.
Dang it,
land
I
in my
forgot.
lap.
To not roll on D&D Beyond. Every single time, man.
Uh-oh.
Nice do I want? I got a 9. Sorry. I got a 9.
Okay.
For anyone curious.
So, as you're sitting there, kind of waiting, it takes you a little longer than normal to recognize signs that something is going wrong. And as you're just kind of sitting there, you suddenly realize that there's no bird songs going on, and you can't remember how long it's been since you heard any. And then suddenly, the alarm spell that Smegwick set up goes off, and as you look over, you can see a single figure in the window aiming a crossbow at you guys through the window. And as soon as the alarm goes off, the crossbow bolt fires, and as it goes in, there is something affixed to the tip that caused a slight explosion. If I could have everyone in the room roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
If I may ask, I'm sure the window wasn't open, right?
He actually fired through the window, like the actual glass of the window.
Oh, okay.
So it broke the window as it was going through. Also kind of impressive that the explosion didn't happen when it broke the window.
Delayed. It had like a tiny little timer. I rolled a 23.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
15.
15. All right. Smegwick?
17.
17. Okay. So, as the explosion happens,
Would I be woken up by this?
everybody would be woken up. But
It's
by
an
this
explosion.
very
I
loud.
promise that's going to happen.
Anyone that fails takes 8 points of fire damage, and I think the lowest was Arai with a 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you all saved. So you all take 4 points of fire damage, and you guys watch as the room that you're in, basically everything in the room that could possibly have caught fire from that did, and now you guys are kind of in this blaze. As soon as the explosion happens, you can hear you can hear commotion from outside. But as you look, the door itself, because of the explosion and where it hit, go ahead.
Spitwit made it too.
Okay, cool.
And survived.
Because of the explosion and where it hit, it seems to have jammed your door shut. So you guys are now kind of in this oven, as it is heating up rather quickly. What would you all like to do?
Oh, so the fire is still ongoing.
Yes, everything is on fire in the room. It almost looks like the purpose of the explosion was not so much to damage you guys, but was to set everything possible on fire.
And possibly further frame us.
Screw the door. Let's jump out the window.
Into nothing.
Into nothing.
As
We're
I
over
said,
the veil.
you can
We're over the veil.
take a dip in the veil. It's certainly be certainly refreshing.
We've probably done worse, but
You can ask Thomas how much fun it is.
we can.
I
Thomas! Is he still with our boat?
Yeah,
No,
you guys
he-
aren't on your boat, so
Is Thomas though?
I think
Thomas
Thomas
is-
Thomas
yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
Thomas is
Okay.
not with you guys. No,
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
he was
they-
not in custody.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
They assumed he had nothing to do with it due to the fact that he was on the boat the entire time.
Good job.
Now hold on, Jody. When you said that the door into our room was jammed in a way, is it like jammed as in like it feels like there's something blocking the door, or is it like locked?
The locking mechanism has melted from the explosion. So
Okay,
the door is
so
effectively
knock-
permanently locked.
Okay, so knock is not going to work.
Yeah,
Is
no.
it? Oh, what's the door made out of?
Wood and with a metal locking mechanism.
Oh,
So
then I'm gonna kick it down.
Okay, sure. It is a sturdy door, so it's going to take a fair amount of oomph to do it, but you can definitely try.
All right.
Himbo powers activate!
Exactly.
Hey,
Woo,
Rye.
just kidding.
Hey, Rye, if this doesn't work, I do have a backup plan.
24.
24. Yeah.
Never mind.
So as you guys are
Drunk.
as you as you guys are sitting there and it's starting to become more and more difficult to breathe, you suddenly just watch Arai stand up, go and then just shoulder charge into the door and goes through it. And Arai, as soon as you go through, you normally would continue running, but you run into 3 guards who are attempting to open the door from the other side. And you all kind of fall down into a pile of limbs. But the rest of you now have a very simple way to escape. By the way, the hinges for the door and the parts of the door that were connected to the hinges are still there.
Wow.
The rest of the door went with Arai.
Oh.
I instantly go and I like help Arai back up, as well as trying to get the door off of the guards.
I immediately tell, like, he shot through the window, so the window is open. Smegwick goes, Spitty, go!
Okay.
And he going for a beeline on the dude.
Okay.
On whoever shot us. I'm damn skippy. He's not going to be 120 feet past.
I'll let you choose search, investigate, search. Wow. 7 different RPGs in my head right now.
Perception?
Investigation or perception?
Perception for Spitty, because he actually
Make
has
an
something there.
intelligence check. Or intellect check. There we go. Get into my ciphered rules.
Make a pre-science check.
14.
14. And was that perception or investigation?
Perception.
Perception. Okay. So Spitwick comes out. The first thing that happens to Sissy Spitwick is they're a little bit overwhelmed with just the massive amount of movement that is happening now. As soon as the explosion happened, the entire base kind of woke up, and Spitwick is just looking for a specific person in a sea of movement. And with a 14, they're not able to specifically catch the figure that put off the explosion. But I will say the amount of people on the docks right now, because this has happened within the last 5 minutes, seems remarkably high to Sissy Spitwick for how much time has passed.
Yeah.
That being said, the rest of you, I'm assuming you all want to get out of the room or take out marshmallows?
Oh. Okay, one
We have
marshmallow.
marshmallows?
One marshmallow, and then we go.
Everybody's coming in with buckets of water, and you're like, wait. It's almost done.
Not this piece. Not this piece.
All right, a quick cup of coffee. Then take him out of town and finish the job.
You're using shitty chocolate. Let's go.
I am tired. Fine, take a nap. Then fire the missiles!
Oh, I feel old now.
Candy Mountain Charlie.
Carl, there is a dead human in our house. Oh, hey, how'd he get here?
So, as you guys go ahead, Arai.
Arai's going to sort of run to, because I think he should remember how to get to Aui's room, correct?
Yeah,
where we
not
are?
difficult at all.
Okay.
It's
Arai's
a really
gonna-
big ship, so it'll take you a couple minutes to get there, though, because you guys are on a galleon style ship.
Okay.
But yeah, you can definitely get there. And due to, I will have you go ahead and make me an athletics check, because people will probably try to stop you at first.
We're singed all the shit in their wizard.
Yeah, right.
I'm only saying at first.
25.
25. Yeah. There's two people like, wait a minute, shoo, and you just blow through them. You knock two of them against the walls as you run up. You guys just watch as Arai, Reggie, you help Arai up, and then Arai immediately just bolts, full tilt, sprinting up the stairs to the upper decks.
As he's running, you are going to just hear him say, "Owie!" And like,
Okay.
just
As if I'm not already running towards the source of it in the first place. Alice, what?
We'll get to Owie in just a second. Smegwick and Reggie, was there anything else you guys want to do? As you guys come out of the room, you can see like 2 or 3 people are bringing buckets of water to try and douse the fire, which is getting hotter and hotter at this point.
Oh dear.
brain cracks me.
No.
Save, oh God.
Reggie, as soon as he gets that door off of the guards and he knows they have like nothing on them to keep them moving, he books it after Arai.
Okay. And then Smegwick, you get the report from Spitwick within like less than a second of him going out the window.
Yeah.
So anything you want to do? Do you want to stay down there? Do you want to go with Arai and Reggie?
They can handle, like, those guys can handle the fire. I'm staying with the group. I'm like, his first priority is making sure Owie's okay.
Okay. So Owie, when you hear the explosion, do you run just to the door and try to get out?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get to the door, there are guards posted outside the doors. As soon as they hear the door open, they kind of look at you, and they both kind of turn and go, "Ma'am, we've been told to keep you safe. We cannot ensure your protection if you leave the room."
But what about my friends?
People have been sent to investigate. We simply ask that you stay in the room.
We need to get somewhere in any case. Sounds like there was something big happening.
And as you're talking, you can see off of the front of the ship, you can see a large amount of smoke and a small pseudo-dragon kind of fly off.
Oh, something's going on.
Shortly after you say that, you see a decently sized, very muscular Eladrin burst from beneath the deck. And start running towards your room. Arai, you can see 2 guards who have their back to you right now, speaking with Owie, and as they hear you kind of bounce up, one of them starts turning, sees you, and just kind of, they both have spears, and just kind of grips his spear and puts it in kind of a defensive position as you're just barreling towards them. What would you like to do?
Slide underneath them.
What was that?
Slide underneath them.
Okay,
Use my momentum and slide.
make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics, not my best. 17.
17. Okay, so yeah, you go straight through his feet, and you are now right next to Owie. On
Okay,
your
cool.
back, because you had to get pretty low, but you're kind of looking up at Owie.
All right, so he's gonna pop up.
Okay.
We were shot at. There's a fire. We need to go. And he picks her up. Can I pick you up? Is it okay if I pick you up?
Aye.
Before he picks her up, he asks.
Aye. Come on, we gotta put out the fire first.
It's all the way out there. Let's get safe first.
Okay, but we still need to make sure we have an alibi.
Hi, alibi. Come on, let's go.
So where are you going with Owie?
Back towards where I know the rest of the party is. So
Okay. Well,
Just sort of
after
trying
you
to
have this
get us
conversation,
together.
you watch as
Yeah, I'm
Smegwick
sure we're right there. Yeah.
and
I'm fast, boy. though.
Reggie finally get up to the deck behind you, and so you can see them slowly coming up. You guys, because you're not quite the towering dynamo that Arai is, you guys do get have to deal with a few more guards saying, "Wait a minute, what are you doing?" but with the fire and everything getting bigger and bigger, most of them just ignore you. So you guys are now all on the deck of Declan's ship.
Did we get a long rest?
No, not yet.
Yeah, got it. Well, now that he's made sure that everyone's okay, like, oh, we're all good. Okay, good. Oh God! And because Smegwick has taken the brunt of the fucking abuse these last 2 sessions.
Oh yeah, he has.
I swear it's the dice.
We gotta put out this fire.
Digital dice. Do we? Do we?
A crow should be able to
Do
handle.
we?
A crow should be able to handle it.
Oh,
Where's
They kn-
Declan? We should
they
go
know-
find Declan. Because if we find anywhere else, or we go anywhere else, we can be framed for something. Where is Declan?
yeah, where is he?
He's gonna be back down below handling things.
Oh,
Look, I'm sure they're gonna be fine. He's mighty
Wait.
resourceful, mighty Oh yeah.
No, Smegwick actually is doing this, so keep going if you want to keep going. It's like, but Smegwick's making the motion.
Yeah, he's mighty resourceful. He's mighty fine. We got to think about ourselves right now.
Hold it.
I'm
Okay,
not
hold
worried
wait.
about him. I'm worried
Wait.
about us.
Wait, hold on. Is the fire getting worse?
Yes?
Make me a perception check.
because it sounds like it's getting worse.
Nat 20 on this, of course.
There is a lot of smoke coming from below deck, and it's now starting to billow out of the doorway that you all came through, and it's really thick and dark black smoke. And if the fire was under control, the smoke should be getting less, not more.
Fuck, we gotta put this out.
We got.
And he just runs over his shoulder and he'll put the thing up over his nose and go like, "We need to look good in every conceivable fashion."
I always do.
Not that way.
Orion checks out his butt a little bit. No, I still look good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and use chromatic orb ice on the fire.
Okay.
Do we have to go back towards where it is?
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, again, it takes you guys a couple minutes to get there. By the time you guys get there, it has started to engulf some of the deck that is on, not just the specific room. As you fire your chromatic orb ice, you watch as the orb itself is kind of enveloped in the flames, and then you feel the spell kind of and go ahead and make me a spell attack roll.
Okay.
The fuck did they chemical spell bullshit?
At 20. So as you sit there and the orb goes, and the orb doesn't like explode, doesn't do like AoE damage or anything, right?
No, just straight damage.
So as you sit there and you fire this bolt in there, you watch as they've created a water line where they're basically just handling down pails and stuff and keep throwing it. And as your chromatic orb goes in there, you just happen to hit the base of one of the larger aspects of the fire, and you watch as the flames just kind of crystallize.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The rest of the fire is still going pretty heavily, but because of the crystallization, it melts and adds even more water to the fire. And most of the fire on the floor is taken out by that. The walls themselves are still on fire. But one thing you do notice with a nat 20
Yes.
is, in addition to the kind of scorch marks that you would expect from fire, there's also this kind of grimy tar-like residue on the ground as well.
Oh no.
There's tar in the ground. Someone definitely meant for this to happen.
So, anyone else want to do something?
Alright,
will
joins the fire line.
Okay.
Smegwick will also, like, making sure everyone is out is safe. He is going to do the same thing as he did on the pier, and he will make sure, and he will cast he will do flaming sphere transmute into cold.
Okay. So as you kind of move your, I will say, because it's a large sphere, right?
These. God, for word search and D&D Beyond. Thank you guys. Within 5 feet of the sphere.
But the size of the sphere itself is large, correct?
5 foot diameter.
So
Sphere.
it's not. Never mind.
A 5 foot diameter sphere, and then everything
For some
within
odd
the 5
reason,
feet
I
of it.
thought it was like 10 foot. All right, so 5 foot is perfectly fine. I was about to say 10-foot sphere doesn't fit in the door. 5 foot, perfectly fine. So as you go through and kind of mop up the rest of it, as the sphere comes back, it is covered to the point where it no longer looks like you have used cold sphere. It looks like you have used sludge sphere. And then as the spell kind of ends, you just have this big pile of sludge that drops to the ground that is partially crystallized and frozen from being that close to your cold sphere.
Smegma will tell anyone who has because it's a bucket brigade, so they have that, will say, like, collect that for a sample. That was the crap they used.
Okay. So within the next couple minutes here, the fire itself is put out. There's still a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
And so people like opening up hatches and things like that to try and vent it out as much as possible. But you can all kind of feel that kind of scratchiness in the back of your throat and kind of the acidic feeling in the at the back of your nose that indicates that you probably don't want to be down here for too much longer until the smoke is cleared out.
Okay, now we go back on deck.
Declan! The frig are you?
As you guys ask for Declan, he doesn't seem to show up.
Oh, frig!
Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll go find him. Find him.
First soldier. Hey, where the frig is Declan?
He was sharing the first officer's room because his room was taken. It's deck 1, far end.
No one went to get him? God dang it.
We were trying to put out a fire!
Okay.
Okay, you guys keep trying to work on the fire. I'll go find Declan.
Hey.
And I'm gonna head wherever that officer's office is.
Okay.
And try to find him.
As you get there, you feel the familiar feeling of magic in the air, and you see the doorknob itself is glowing slightly.
Oh no.
And
Hoping it's a security.
Okay, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna touch the door. I'm not gonna knock on it. I'm just gonna yell through the door like, "Hey, Master Declan, you in there?"
No answer.
No answer. Okay. Let's see. Do I have any spells I could possibly use? Okay, I'm gonna try one thing before I try to get the door open. I'm gonna cast Sending,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and send a message to Declan, going like, "Declan, where are you right now? This is Reggie, one of Owie's friends. Please tell us where you are." And that's all I'm saying.
The spell definitely works. However, you don't get any response back. You know that the target heard it, and it did if the person you were trying to use the sending spell on was like dead. As far as magic is concerned, they're no longer a creature; they're an object. So you did send it to a creature, so you know that they're there, but you're just not getting anything back.
So I know the message is read, but no one's typing back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question your
Alright.
dial is not accepting messages at this time.
Motherfucker left me on red. Okay, I'm gonna try one last thing, and if this doesn't work, then I'm getting out of here. I'm seeing that glowing door. I'm gonna cast knock on it.
Okay. And the knock spell interacts with the arcane lock spell that was already on there, and the glow stops.
Okay, I open the door.
As you go in, you can see both the first officer and Declan. Declan is on a kind of makeshift cot bed, and the first officer is in their bed. Both of them are sound asleep.
Oh.
Declan
Okay,
is snoring really heavily.
Please, Bill.
I rush over there and I shake, I like gently slap, like, wake up, Chrissy, I don't like this, wake up.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens? Okay, fine then. Okay, this is gonna cost me. Okay, I'm gonna cast. Let's see, does this work on. Yeah, that doesn't work on sleeping.
So while all this is happening, Aoi, Smegwick, Arai, you guys obviously saw Reggie run below deck. Did you go with him? What do you guys do?
I go with him.
Okay.
Yet the fire is now handled, yeah.
Yep, the fire seems to be done. They just need to vent the smoke out.
Okay. Then yeah, we're going with.
So you guys watch as he goes forward, and you watch him cast a spell and then unlock the door, and you guys can both see Declan and the first officer, who seem to be unconscious but alive. They look like they're just sleeping. But then you watch as Reggie comes over and starts slapping Declan, and nothing's happening.
That's not a normal sleep spell. He should be waking up by now with something.
Yeah, I know.
Is the fire and the noise not working for him?
When someone's under this kind of thing, you have to wake them up manually, and that's not working. That means they're under some heavy-duty stuff.
Okay, well, first thing we got to do is try to find some way to get them out of here.
We can't lug them out. Like, they're safe. Are they safe? They're safe here, right, Jody?
They're not in any danger right now.
Yeah.
Like,
the fire's handled.
With the fire done, and they were on the opposite side of the ship that the fire was on, so the fire would have had to consume most of the ship before they would have been in any danger.
They're unconscious. Us moving them right now that the ship is safe, would actually make it look like we're trying to kidnap them. That might actually be bad.
Yeah.
Crap, you're right.
Yeah, let's try to scoop up some evidence so we can present it to the prosecution.
Does anyone have the spell magic?
No.
I don't know if Rexy does. No, I don't.
I got lesser restoration, but it doesn't work on sleep-based magic. Yeah, I got nothing.
So we wait?
Jody, since I don't have capability to undo this from the Arcana standpoint of magic versus magic, is there any other way I think that I could deal with this?
You really would need to figure out what spell was cast on him, and right now, the only information you have is he is currently literally sleeping. Like, he's not unconscious or something like that. He is quite literally sleeping, and he seems to be having a nice, restful sleep. I mean, other than the fact that you guys are slapping him and picking him up and jostling him. If it wasn't for that, he looks very well rested right now.
This is some good stuff they gave him.
Yeah.
Damn it, we can't catch a fucking bird! And there's like, so 2 on 2 ways. Either, well, also this could be poison.
Mm-hmm. If you'd like to start
when you-
ruling things out, if you'd like to make a medicine check, you can check to see if there are any wounds or anything on him that might be poison related.
Investigation?
I would say for this one in particular, it would need to be medicine to specifically find something that might be a poison.
Ooh, maybe 14 plus 2, 16.
16. Okay, so looking around, you don't see anything that might indicate that he's been poisoned recently, unless he drank something, which you wouldn't be able to tell. You can see there's no like stains or anything on his mouth that would indicate some sort of reaction with saliva, but there's no puncture wounds or anything, or at least not any wounds that look recent. You find a few scars and things like that.
Okay.
One of them Aoi might recognize from a sparring match that got a little bit too heated.
I hate to do this, but I'm the one that can do least like is I hate to do this, and I'm trying to do the least amount of damage I can, and then it just occurs to me, oh, well, least amount of damage I can do is actual physical, and so he's actually gonna he's just gonna smack him as hard as he can on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Bare minimum, I'm gonna do 1.
Yeah, it'd be 1 plus strength. So whatever your strength minus.
Bare minimum, I can only do 1.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, 1 point of damage. As you hit him as hard as you can, the first thing that you notice is he's pretty solid muscle. Like, as you sit there, you feel your knuckles crack a little bit against his shoulder because you've just hit one of his deltoids that are just massive.
Solid.
But he seems, other than the fact that you can see a slight redness where you hit him.
Arai goes over and kind of pats Smegwig on the back and be like, "If you need to punch something, you can tell me."
I'm trying to wake him up and don't fucking get me.
So we need to punch him?
If he didn't wake up from the minuscule amount I did, it's not you clocking him. Going from unconscious to comatose is not the answer.
Fair.
Is Reggie with us?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
still there.
Yeah.
Reggie, maybe you can play a real bad note on your violin and see if that wakes him.
I mean, it's not something. It's not something I like to do, but I mean,
Yeah.
I can give it a shot.
I don't suppose you can do a counter, Sean.
Do I have that?
Smegwick is just spitballing. He has. I have zero idea what you can do.
No, I could have sworn I saw.
I believe you
I
have an
actually do.
ability. However, it gives you proficiency on saving throws. If the effect is already in effect, it wouldn't really do anything.
Yeah, counter charm. As an action, you can perform until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creature within 30 feet of me that can hear me, we gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened and charmed. So we can't already be under its effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this would not work. But yeah, Reggie, who always has his violin with him, takes it out, gets it ready. This time he doesn't do his little typical wrist exercise that he does at the start of every time he plays. This time is of the essence here. So he gets right up at Declan's ear, and he just plays the most scratchy cat wrestling with a cactus noise you've ever heard, and it's going right in Declan's ear.
Ugh.
Sorry, I was dealing with stuff.
Oh,
So make me a performance check.
performance. I can definitely do that. That's my best one.
I only have one other idea.
Rolled a 9, but I have plus 12, so that's 21.
21. All of you, as he
now
hits
deaf.
this very painfully out of tune, screechy, high-pitched note, it is remarkably unpleasant for all of you. You can feel it in the back of your eyes. It's one of those notes.
Oh.
And you actually have a couple guards that are coming up to see what you guys are doing, and you watch both of the guards just hit the ground as they're just clutching their ears going, "What the?" But Declan and the first officer sleeping fine.
What?
There's only one other thing I can think of doing. And Smegwick just goes up to the bed next to Declan, goes up there.
Yes!
What?
You feel the kind of squidginess of the wet willy, but nothing. He seems
Not even
out like a
that?
light.
Dang.
You're seeing this too, right? I turn towards the guards.
Perhaps one of us can try True Love's Kiss?
They seem kind of disgusted
Right,
with you
goes
guys
over.
at this point. If you'd like to try kissing him, you're welcome to.
No!
Probably a bad idea.
Smack just goes, consent is sexy.
Yeah.
Even Reggie looks at Orion like, why were you just ready for that?
Why
not?
weren't you?
Before you were done saying, you just had like that lip balm ball. Just
It's got a little bit of a plumper in it too, so now they're just like really rich.
the only other thing Smack could think of is like a first aid kit and smelling salts.
So as you try the smelling salts, you do see him kind of like move away from them, but he doesn't wake up.
I'll hold it. Like no. Wake up!
You see like a pained expression on his face because in inhaling like smelling salts is ethanol, like it hurts. That's why it's so effective.
He will stop eventually, so.
Before brain damage comes in, I hope. The guards themselves, after seeing you guys kind of just abuse their captain,
Sorry.
are sitting there, what is going on here?
Magically induced friggin' sleep spell while we nearly got blown up.
And they both kind of draw weapons. It's like, oh, right.
All this stuff goes to hell, and no one checks on the person in command.
So they both draw
God
weapons.
dang
Like,
it!
all right, you're all going to the brig now. This isn't funny anymore.
Friend, if we were the ones who were responsible for this, why would we be trying to wake him up instead of absconding with him? Use your friggin' brain. Don't test me.
And they both kind of look at each other and go, that's a really good question. Normally I'd ask the captain what to do about that, but
You can ask him after you wake him up.
Yeah.
One of them puts their sword away, goes over, Captain.
Exactly.
He's not dead.
Pulls his sword out again. Maybe this is all a plot to get away from here. Make us all think we're crazy.
Then why didn't we leave now?
Yeah, we have to put the fire out.
We also, look at me!
But,
Beat to hell, burn to shit! Go to the fort and get someone. Ask for either the wizard or see if there's a druid available.
And the other kind of, that's actually a really good idea. We probably should have thought of that before we were...
No!
Yeah, of course.
How about we keep one of them with us?
Only one of them does.
Okay.
The other one technically still has his sword out at you guys, but he seems to not being paying. Try this one more time. He seems to not really be paying attention to the fact that his sword is even out. He's kind of overwhelmed with everything that's going on right now, and so his sword is just out because it was out previously. I don't think... And you see him, like, trying to process what he's supposed to do.
Smegwick just goes up to him. He has a sword out. He just, like... The guy's sword is, like, there, and he just goes... And then he points to Arai.
And he's kind of pointing it, and he's trying... He looks really confused he's trying to do. And you suddenly hear a whistle from behind you. And you see an Aarakocra in military uniform, or a sailor uniform, sorry, come over. Goes, what's going on here? Mr. Smith, I will deal with all of this. Go clean up the muck in that room that they were in.
Smeg recognizes that dude's listening to him. He just immediately goes, assassination attempt on us. These two are magically induced.
Sleep.
He comes over, kind of looks it over.
No attempts are working to wake them up.
You watch him pull out a wand, point it. You hear some magic words spoken, and you can see he starts glowing. Looks at the wand. It's a fascinating use of that spell. I may have to remember that.
You know what's going on with them?
Oh, what's going on?
Standard suggestion spell.
Son of a
Well,
bitch.
mass suggestion.
That's good. That's clever.
I thought so as well. Seems that I am currently in command, seeing as you have now taken out both of our captain and our first officer.
Please tell me you have enough brain cells to realize that is a ridiculous theory.
Well,
I'm suggesting.
you were here. And
After we put out the
unconscious.
fire.
So were the guards.
And you see him like it's
So-
hard to read a beak, but
Oh,
you
fuck
can
you!
see a little bit of a smile in his eyes.
Friend, we have been screwed over 3 ways to Sunday in just under a day. Don't push it, please.
Well, lucky for you, as long as we can find a decent spellcaster, a mass suggestion spell is not particularly difficult to get rid of. The only problem with the spell is it lasts for a day,
Oh God.
unless it is ended early. So,
We need someone with a massive dispel magic.
well, maybe not massive, but someone that's fairly
High enough
talented
level.
at magic.
Yeah.
Someone is coming. However, I think it would be in your best interest to not be here when they
Okay.
arrive.
Okay.
If you would like, my quarters are slightly cramped for 5 people, but you can certainly wait in them.
Thank you.
I shall have my... he kind of looks around and kind of looks through a porthole. I will have some mulled wine brought up. Seems that you are a little frazzled. Little alcohol would probably do you good.
I've lost blood. The last thing I need to do is have a blood thinner.
Well, you've also yelled at me and my men and at 2 unconscious bodies. I think anything that mellows you out right now will be a net gain for everyone.
You also did instantly accuse us.
Yes, and it was quite
Sorry?
hilarious.
Do not make it worse.
It's already worse. We're fucked.
Come with
and
me.
He
Come
just
with me.
walks the room.
And you watch him as he's walking through. He is effortlessly just giving out orders to literally every person he goes by. And he gets to his room, and it is a very small room. Large enough for a bed, a table, and a chair, and not much else. And he goes, well, unfortunately, we don't really want to put you in anything larger, seeing as you have already destroyed one set of quarters. Or
Why
they
do
were
they have
destroyed around you.
Is the
Thank you.
crew still busy?
Yeah, they're everyone in the crew's awake now.
I mean, they're still like dealing with the ramification. I mean, so it's like
In addition to kind of cleaning up the mess from that, they're doing a full check of the ship. They're assessing what damage the actual fire did and whether that is structural or not. So, like the whole ship is alive right now. Yes, Ari?
I was completely separate from the rest of them. How would I?
Well, if you would prefer, miss, we can take you back to
No.
the captain's room.
she's not leaving us.
Yeah.
I figured that would
Yeah,
be...
I was trying to just, vouch for their innocence.
Oh, I understand exactly what you're trying to do. Unfortunately, everything here looks very, very bad. And I don't have the authority to do much other than sequester you away. I actually don't have the authority to let you all return to the captain's quarters, simply Miss Aoi. But hopefully we will have the captain back momentarily. So try
Thank you
and
very much.
get some rest. It'll be uncomfortable, but I don't really have another room for you right now.
We appreciate it.
Was that a no to the mulled wine?
No, thank you.
All right then. Well, try to rest. You have a trial tomorrow, which, if I were to take a wild guess, I would say probably not going to be an enjoyable experience.
Is it ever?
I don't know. I've had a few that were entertaining to watch. Good court martial can be great entertainment.
You should probably go now.
And goes, close the door behind you. You do notice you don't hear the door lock behind him.
As soon as he shuts the door, I would collapse into tears.
Okay, unfortunately, we just keep getting fucked over.
This is just too much now.
I'm gonna say it now while we have the chance and there's a window. Do we bolt now?
That's
go.
only going to make us look worse.
We're already fucked. How many more times? How many more times are we gonna be getting? We're basically being abused at this point.
Yeah. If we keep sticking it around here, then we're literally asking for it. I vote bolt.
We can bolt. I understand the ramifications, or we stay and we stick the trial out. The problem is our defense is knocked unconscious.
Defense is knocked unconscious. This new bird brain over here already pretty much declares us guilty.
He was fucking with us. He outright said he doesn't think we're guilty. But the problem is everyone who sees reason is bowing to stupid fucking decisions.
I say we just stop playing the game.
Do we know? Like, I'll just send during the telepathic communication. I'm gonna send Spitwit over to our ship. Is anyone guarding our ship?
Your ship seems like no one is anywhere near it. There's two guards that have been there since you guys were technically arrested that are still there, but they seem to not really be paying attention to much of anything. Like, they look more bored than anything else. Spitwick will mention that there is a group of people that have just boarded Declan's ship that seem to be heading towards you guys. Actual officials and things like that. As the group gets on, you see the second officer, the EXO, comes up, the bird that you were speaking to before, and kind of stops them and are having a conversation, and if Spitwick wants to, he can eavesdrop without too much difficulty.
Okay.
So
I'll definitely try that.
he overhears effectively. They're coming to arrest you guys and take you to a more secure facility for sentencing, because obviously this is all. And the XO goes, nope. No one gets on this ship without the express permission of the captain, and the captain is currently indisposed and does not wish to address you, so you can wait until he wakes up.
Oh, so he's not even going to allow aid to be on the ship.
The group themselves is not being the guards that are coming to arrest you are not being allowed on the ship.
Oh, I'm saying, so, like, does that mean no one's going to be allowed on the ship?
No, just these guards.
Oh,
he's
okay.
effectively stopping them from arresting you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's just taking kind of a hardline approach of, no, you're not coming on the ship, not until the captain says you can come on the ship. And right now the captain doesn't want to talk to you. He's enjoying a nice restful sleep. You can come back tomorrow morning.
Nice restful sleep while his ship burns.
So it takes another like 10 minutes for them to argue, but the EXO doesn't budge, and they eventually leave.
Is any other aid coming to the ship?
You do see the turtle. The
Druid?
turtle druid that you guys dealt with seems to be coming, but he's coming relatively slowly. He's using his walking stick, and he's kind of hobbling, but he seems to be on his way.
Okay. All right. Obviously, he'll read this when Evan gets back. He gets on. The turtle's on the way. Is the pier also busy, or is it like?
The kind of burst of movement and everything and activity that Spitwick saw immediately after the explosion seems to have died down significantly. But news of what happened is kind of spreading through the camp, and so the camp itself is more awake than it should be at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So as you guys sit there,
Yordle comes on. We're gonna wait for the traffic to die down. We may have to make a split-second decision, kid. I'm just saying. Be prepared.
So eventually you guys hear the sound of feathered knuckles knocking on your door. Is everyone decent?
I hope so.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Opens the door. Well, almost on cue. Group of guards came to try and arrest you again, because apparently you're not arrested yet, despite the fact that we've been holding you under arrest in here. It's very confusing. They didn't get on. We have a druid that's working on the captain. This is all looking to be done with a very express purpose. And I must say, if you all are doing this, then you are absolutely masterfully framing yourself. Like, it's really impressive work if you are the ones that are behind all of this. It'd be monumentally stupid as well, but you're muted, Howie.
None of us are anywhere near strong enough to be able to cast something that big.
I figured. It's, I have to admit, I have seen some rather dastardly deeds done in my time. This is impressive in just the sheer audacity of the attempts to frame you. Like, I have not seen all the evidence, and even I find it almost impossible to believe that you would be doing any of this.
Thank you. At least someone believes us.
That's my point. Anyone that doesn't believe you has to be making a conscious choice not to. It's not that they've been convinced by a preponderance of evidence or anything like that. There is no evidence implicating you. And the evidence that has been fabricated to implicate you is poorly fabricated.
Yeah, we figured that.
So, the only people saying that you are guilty of this have to be people that are somehow involved, is what I'm saying.
Like a conspiracy?
I could not tell you, but I could not think of a tribunal in any of the planes that would convict you on this evidence, that would bring you to trial on this evidence. It's
Also, to be
insulting.
perfectly frank, a tribunal doesn't normally happen in these situations.
Well, someone is making an awful lot of a hullabaloo about this. And whether they are taking advantage of a bad situation or they are acting with some nefarious purpose, I cannot say.
I mean, we've pissed off some people, but I wouldn't say we pissed them off enough for them to go to this much effort to drag us.
Who knows?
Oh yes, we
Word.
have.
Yes, we have. And we are an opportunity for distraction right now, considering what has just come up on this island.
Mm-hmm.
They really come up.
Mm-hmm.
Smegwick is going to ask the next question to Spitwit. Where are the lifeboats?
There are lifeboats all over. With a ship this size,
Yeah.
most of them are kept on the deck, but they have lots of them. None of them are currently prepared for passengers right now. Like they're all, because how you store them on the ship, they're all stored upside down and covered in
Okay.
cloth and stuff. Like none of them are prepared for anyone to use them. You guys are a dock, so there's no
Yeah.
reason for lifeboats.
How far away are we from the docks?
I mean, you're
What-
on
what-
the docks. There's a gangplank that goes down.
Okay.
Suddenly, you guys hear, "Unhand me! I am
Oh, shit.
appalled that this."
Oh.
There he is.
And the Aarakocra goes, "I do believe that's our captain. I should probably be there to inform him what's going on and, transfer command, all those lovely things. If you excuse me," he goes, he closes the door behind him. 5 minutes later, the door kind of bursts open. "Owie! How are you?"
Are you okay, Declan?
"I am perfectly fine." And you see this druid going, "Oh, maybe you want to hold on just a second there. Will you go away? Go fix my first officer. This is highly inappropriate. I am..." And he slams the door in his face. "Fine, I'll be here."
So now there's 6 people in this itty bitty room. Okay.
And
Well, I'm guessing the XO is no longer here, right?
Yeah,
Just now,
the
it's-
XO
it's
is
Oh, that
gone,
would have
Declan.
been 7.
that would have been 7, yeah. He kind of looks around and he realizes just how cramped it is in here, opens the door and steps out a little bit. "Howie, I'm so very sorry that this has happened. I cannot believe how many things have been going on."
Declan, enough is enough. We're going to go prove our innocence.
"Obviously, the trial starts in about 6 hours."
Declan, you are not so stupid as to believe that the trial is going to go fairly. This was a setup again, once
Yeah.
more, again, on multiple levels, again.
Yeah.
There is only one
Your
way for us to
second
prove
off- Your second officer believes this as well. This is going to be a kangaroo court.
This is all a setup. This is beyond a setup now. This is just... It's... Declan, even you cannot possibly believe that this is going to be a fair trial. This has been a setup on monumental proportions.
I have given my word to represent
Great.
you in a fair trial.
This is not a fair trial.
If they attempt to do something underhanded, then I will protect you. But
What
I
are you going
cannot
to do,
allow-
Declan? What are
You
you going
couldn't
to
even
do?
you couldn't even protect yourself.
Be nice, be nice. What are you going to do, Declan? What are you going to flex? What authority could you possibly have to offer to this on this substantial, monumental slop job of a setup they are giving to us that they are going to use?
I have a crew of 60 extremely well-armed and trained men.
That got bypassed, every single one of them, to try and kill us and put your ass out along with your first mate.
I'm sorry, do you forget about the idea that we put you in a particular spot that was easy to access in order to bring out your attacker?
Yes, they managed to
Sure.
do that, and they went overkill. They shot friggin' napalm through a window and targeted you.
Yes, but that was the point. Is what I'm
Targeting you
saying.
was never the point.
No, all of my men were watching you, waiting for you to be attacked. Had my men actually been guarding the ship like they normally would, none of this would have happened. The entire purpose of this was to invite an attack. So,
Yeah,
in
that
that
is true.
idea, we succeeded rather spectacularly.
Declan, did you happen to see, who put you to sleep?
I was sleeping at the time, unfortunately.
Someone put you
yeah.
under suggestion. You have to hear the suggestion in order for that to work.
I
Even though you're asleep, you're still listening.
could not tell you what
Yeah.
it was. It was very restful. I feel wonderful. Better than I have in a very long time. But beyond that, if things... You seem to be under the opinion that everyone believes that you are guilty. They don't. There's exactly one person that believes you are guilty, and he is one of 3 members of the tribunal.
Oh.
There are 2 others whose votes count and have as much weight as his does.
Are you sure that they won't
One-
be under the same, like, conspiracy as the first guy?
As far as I can tell, I mean, the Arcade Advisor seems vehemently against the entire trial in and of itself. And the 3rd member of the tribunal, remarkably enough, is the head of the quartermasters, who seems to have no ill will toward you and thinks this is equally stupid.
Ah, okay.
And more, this is. I hate to break this to you. This is all set up.
Obviously. And it will be shown to be as much at trial. I guess I simply do not understand why you assume everyone here somehow believes all of this is true.
Well,
Because
a
it's
fair
gone far enough that we've been put on trial for it. So enough people have to have believed it was true.
I mean, particularly only one people has to believe it to be true for you to be put on trial.
Then how did word spread so fast?
Well, that in and of itself is rather impressive, and I unfortunately have not had the manpower to investigate that, nor is my crew particularly skilled in that particular form of investigation. But it would indicate that there are others that wish to have this story furthered. However, they haven't been able to influence the people that would actually be able to do anything about it.
Except for the fact that the majority of the people who would speak out in our favor are also ending up mysteriously under the same effect.
No, really, all of our... I mean,
Is the Goliath still unconscious? But now we might possibly have a break in the situation if the suggestion is also what's keeping him unconscious.
well, the druid that so rudely awakened me has mentioned that the Goliath, while weak, has partially regained consciousness enough to be at trial.
That's good news.
He seems like a remarkably unpleasant person to be around, but
He got
seems
blown up.
truthful enough.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere near as dire as you are making it. And it will all be resolved in the next 12 hours. The only thing that you can do to really hurt your chances is to attempt to escape. Because even the people that don't believe this will be swayed by an obviously guilty action.
So we just gotta wait this out.
It'll be over in 12 hours, even though the trial's in 6?
Well, don't know how long it's going to take for them to deliberate. Trial itself shouldn't take longer than an hour or 2.
Do we have enough time to get the rest of our sleep in?
Yes, of course. Due to the fact that your bunk that you were originally sleeping in is occupied currently, I will have some cots set up and you can all sleep in my quarters. The likelihood of anyone attempting anything on my quarters is relatively low, and if they did, I would murder them. Also, I would consider it a personal favor if you didn't destroy my quarters. I tend to like them.
We haven't destroyed anything yet.
And yet, you decided to put the yet on the end there. That's the part that worries me.
Really, you're right.
I guess I did break a door.
We were gonna suffer from smoke inhalation and napalm, which, by the way, the bucket of whatever the frig that stuff actually is.
Yes, we've already taken samples. We're examining it.
Thank you.
It seems to be pitch. Doesn't burn particularly well, but creates an awful lot of smoke. Anyway, Howie, your council will be here at 8 a.m. sharp, so you should probably get some sleep so you're well rested when they arrive.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm going to attempt to fall asleep under my own volition. I suggest you all do the same. Mr. Smith? Yes, Captain. Take them to my quarters. Ensure that there are enough beds for them all. Howie, have a wonderful rest. He walks out.
Yes, sir.
So, you all ready to go?
Yes.
Lovely.
Really?
Fine.
Takes you up. You guys are able to finish your long rest without too much difficulty.
Hi.
Early in the morning, you hear a knock on the door. You see a tall, very kind of thin dragonborn with silver scales at the door. Mistress Aoi, it is, and he bows very, very deeply. It is an honor for me to finally meet you, and then notices, who are these other people? Oh, you keep your servants with you so that you have something at all times. That makes perfect sense to me. You may all go.
Oh god, so this is what it feels like from the other side.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, do you want us to leave?
No.
Oh, so
Okay.
Rai crosses his other leg.
They are not my servants.
Leans
they,
back.
They are my friends.
Oh, deepest apologies. I never meant to insult anyone. However, Mistress Howie, this is a conversation that must remain privileged between the two of us, so I must ask to speak with you alone. It seems that there's a ready room over there. We can have a conversation there. Your friends can stay here. Does that sound good to you?
Okay.
All right.
So Smegwick, like, doesn't even register the guy. Howie, do you want us to leave?
Stay here until I come back.
All right,
Farewell.
your decision.
So you,
Spitwit is with me.
mhm.
Telepathic communication to Spitwit via senses,
Mhm.
including his dark vision. Is this dude actually a Dragonborn?
He seems like it.
Okay.
I mean, because he has blind sight, right? Not like true sight.
He has dark vision. He also has blind sight.
As far as Spitwick can tell, he seems very dragonborn. He smells like a dragonborn. He smells like a very clean dragonborn. That's also wearing cologne or perfume or something. It's very nice.
Spitwit jumps into Owie's arms.
He just kind of looks at it, kind of strange. Brings Aoi in. Well,
Spitwit looks up to Owie.
So you watch as he does an incantation, and a Lumin's tiny hut appears in the room to kind of block off sound and everything.
That's great. Spitwit's with them.
Nice.
Telepathic communication.
Well, again, that's not his focus.
I know.
So he goes, "Well, Mistress Owie, I must say, this is quite a kerfuffle. I simply do not understand why someone with such potential would decide to leave school and go around with a band of ruffians like this. But to each their own. I had a wild side in my youth as well.
Stay on the ready in case this guy pulls anything with her.
But enough about your choice of companions. I can say, speaking with the magistrate here, thank you, Windows. I really don't care right now.
His familiar is Clippy.
Looks like you're trying to condescend to an entire group of people. Would you like help? As I've spoken with the magistrate, and it seems your involvement with this has been entirely a mistake. You just simply happen to be with the group that they are sure is causing all of the issues. I was able to make a restitution payment. You are 100% free and in the clear. And my ship is awaiting you. Your parents are actually already waiting back at one of the nicer hotels at Cyclocali Station. So we can leave right now and not have to deal with any of this business.
I am not leaving without my friends.
But, well, you see, your parents are rather worried about you, and the fact that you've now been arrested, they figure it would be in your best interest to just spend some time with them. They can ensure that the right people are convinced to make this go under the rug. But if you continue to be creating issues and things like that, it becomes much more difficult and expensive to ensure that this doesn't go on your permanent record or anything like that, possibly ruining future opportunities for advancement wherever you decide to go. So I think it would be in your best interest to just come with me. Don't worry about them. I'm sure Captain Declan, I believe is his name, he comes from a very, very good family, and I'm convinced he will be perfectly fine. But I think it would be in your best interest to just come with me.
Absolutely not.
Spitwit growls.
I
Miss Howie, I believe you're familiar as having some indigestion. You may want to dismiss them for a bit.
Smegwick is relaying what's going on here, and he's like, post up in case this guy tries something funny.
Calling word to my father was not my choice. It is my last-ditch panic button, and I had no intention to call him.
Well, I mean, whether it was your intention or not, he has been made aware, and they
My
just...
friends have been framed for this.
Yes, well, unfortunately, I am only here to represent you and not your friends, and I feel that I've done a very good job in representing you. Again, all charges against you have been dropped. You are free and in the clear, and to be perfectly frank, Mr. Zowie, I simply don't understand what you're doing. I mean, your parents have more than enough to ensure that you can do whatever you want. That's why they sent you to such a lovely school to learn exactly what it is that you wanted. I simply don't understand why you're shipping out with ruffians like this. You are above them.
Yeah, like Summer isn't above me as well. I'm doing all this for her.
Mr. Howie, do not mean any offense in what I say. It's just the world works in certain ways, and there are just certain people that
That is part of the reason why I set off in this journey to the first place, to do some growing up.
and you can see kind of the determination in you. Mr. Zowie, I'm going to be quite frank with you. Your parents are not going to be happy about this. But it is obvious to me that there's nothing I can say to change your mind. So, you can stay here. I do not have the authority to force you to come with me. But you will probably hear from your parents again relatively soon about this. I hope that your feelings for these people do not cause irreparable damage for your reputation.
Thank you very much.
And he bows low again. Of course, Mr. Zowie. And if I have done anything to offend you, I apologize profusely.
Apology accepted.
Lovely. He waves his hand. Lehman's tiny hut goes away. Opens the door. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful trial. Goodbye. And he walks out.
Spitwit sends a mental image into his head of a middle finger.
That's rather rude. You hear him mutter as he's going out.
Smegwick did not share everything. He did not telegraph everything. And he will even say, "Not entirely my story to tell, kid. You tell us in your own time. Right now, there's other things more important."
I go back to the captain's quarters.
Okay. Unless you guys have other things you want to do, the next couple hours passes without issue, and you are eventually taken. Originally, guards come and they have irons that they want to put you in, and Declan just looks at them without saying anything and waits for them to leave. So you were all taken without irons to the tribunal. And as the trial starts, the first witness is the one of the cooks, and her testimony effectively is, after the first explosion, she saw Smegwick specifically looking to the person that seemed to have started everything, and they, according to the witness, they shared a knowing glance, and then Smegwick watched as this other saboteur detonated another explosion and did nothing to stop him.
Smegwick leans over to Declan and goes, "And a flying dagger went right by my friggin' head."
So Declan comes up. So, your testimony that you're giving today is that Smegwick, this lovely goblin gentleman here, shared a, let me see if I remember this correctly, a knowing glance, and then prevented this this saboteur from detonating the next one. Is that exactly what you said? Oh, yes, that's exactly what happened. Yes, it was. Yes, very much so. Obviously, this is very damning evidence for my clients. It's, well, I mean, just sitting by and allowing something like that to happen. Really, if anyone were to have seen something like that, obviously they're just as guilty as the party making the detonation. Obviously. So, just for clarification's sake, what particularly did you do to stop this saboteur? Well, what do you mean? Well, you you saw them, not only did you see them, but you saw them and focused on them well enough to know that this knowing glance happened. That's not something you would see in a casual glance or anything. You'd have to really look it over. And you could tell what was going to happen because you knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Smegwick here did nothing to prevent her from doing another detonation. So obviously you had plenty of time to stop her. So I just want to know, what steps did you take to stop this person? Well, there was a lot going on, and obviously there was a lot going on. I mean, there's explosions everywhere, and there were people crying out and fire everywhere, obviously. But you have just given testimony that you went and you focused on this specific person. And you just agreed with me that anyone that knew that this was happening and didn't stop it obviously must be guilty. So obviously that means that you must have done something. Or else you would be declaring yourself just as guilty as these people. Well, it all just happened so fast. Well, wait a minute. If it happened so fast, then why did Smegwick have this incredible opportunity to stop it that you didn't? I seem to be misunderstanding how this works. Maybe no further questions. He sits back and kind of smiles to himself. There wasn't anything else you wanted me to ask him, was there? Ask her, was there? As he just kind of talks with you guys.
Did she see me get blown up?
I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. We all saw you get blown up.
Reggie leans over to Owie. This guy's good.
The next witness comes in. It's the druid. In his testimonies, effectively, you guys made a beeline for the docks and only stopped long enough to put out the fire directly between you and the docks. And the prosecutor makes emphasis, well, obviously that means that they had to be going to escape. So
Smegwick does make the point, if he has the opportunity, to tell him, like, we held the Goliath first before we put the fires out.
And the acting commander goes, that, strike that from the record. They have not testified yet. We will discuss that when they testify.
I was like, he was given, if he had the message to tell Declan that. He was not, like,
Oh, okay.
he wasn't piping up in the middle of the trial.
So Declan just goes, we'll cover that when we have him testify for us. So as he goes up, goes, well, you've given some pretty damning evidence, haven't you? I mean, making a beeline directly for their ship. I mean, obviously, if their intention was to cause as much damage as possible and then get out as quickly as possible, it's exactly what they would have done. I mean, I really don't see any other reason that a group would go directly to the entire lifeline of the base here. I mean, it's a good thing that there was no fire on the docks themselves, because had the docks gone up in flames, we would be in a much worse position, especially if the ships had all been gone. We would not be getting resupplied for weeks, at least. I mean, we would be in a very, very poor position. All of our water would be gone. I mean, it's a good thing that they intentionally did not light the docks on fire, and then made sure that when a fire was endangering the docks, it just happened to be in their way. I mean, that's a very, very good thing, and we are very, very lucky that someone in this mastermind of a group here screwed up so poorly that they accidentally set the docks on fire and then had to put it out with your help. And you're like, well, I don't know about that. It seems like kind of an odd thing to do. And I mean, the fires were reaching towards the docks, and they were able to stop it with my help. So I don't know. That just seems really, yeah. You know, now that you mention it, it does seem rather rather inconvenient for them have to set fires, especially since, I mean, this is a very large place. Wouldn't have been incredibly difficult to place the explosions so that they had a clear path. It's rather odd that they didn't, especially with how masterful they've been. I mean, just the sheer communication that had to go on with them being able to ensure that the bombs were placed in places where no one would recognize them, the knowing glance that we've just been made aware of that communicated such incredible information in less than a second. I mean, this was massively planned, months and months ahead of time. It really is upsetting that they had screwed up effectively at the 11th hour there and nearly got their entire party killed. I guess it's just lucky that they were able to put that out and then go and re-tie up all of the boats. That's very good. We are very lucky that my clients are incompetent as saboteurs. No further questions. He comes back, smug again. As the trial goes on, the Goliath comes up and they try to spin the testimony as you guys ignoring everyone and going directly for your ship, but the Goliath story doesn't make any sense, and the rest of the trial is fairly uneventful, and everyone else is kind of murmuring, and you can tell that the crowd is on your side by the end of it. After all the testimony is done, the commander, the acting commander, goes, "Well, we are going to deliberate. It may take some time to come to a decision." And then the wizard goes, "No, I don't think it will take much time at all. In fact, I would like to have a public vote. I think the evidence is rather clear. I feel no need for deliberation. What about you, Henry?" "Well, I do feel like there's any need for deliberation as well. I know exactly what I'm going to vote, and there's nothing y'all can say that's going to change my mind now."
Smegma just goes, "Wait for it."
"Fine."
Wait for it.
Oh, I am gripping with
I'm
anticipation.
I'm inevitable. So, the acting commander goes, "Fine. Well, I think it's fairly obvious that they are guilty." And then,
That's one.
Does anyone in the crowd actually cheer that on?
no, there's dead silence. The head of the quartermasters goes, I think you're a bloody nutter, and I say they're innocent." And then the wizard, "I coincide with quartermaster. I declare them innocent. You're cleared of our charges. Now we have a lot of work to do because we have ruins to discover."
Thank you very much.
And Declan turns to you. "Told you, there's nothing going to happen here. This seems to have just been a massive waste of time."
Exactly, and unfortunately, that's the purpose of the whole damn thing.
Now, let's do what we were tasked to do and go find those ruins, shall we?
Finally.
Away.
Declan, we're gonna need an assist from you, possibly. We need climbing gear. We gotta make up for time.
All right. You make 20 minutes.
All right,
I
let's
assume
go.
you would like it delivered to your boat, then?
ASAP, and we also may need just a brief amount of time just to make sure our ship is actually going to be okay. The last thing we need is this thing blowing up on us,
All right. You
literally in our faces.
go inspect your ship. I will have the climbing gear delivered to you. He turns back to Aoi, kind of grasps your hand. Aoi, I am so very sorry that you had to deal with all of this. But I hope, after all of this is done, you will allow me to treat you and your friends to a lovely dinner.
You have been most gracious.
Lovely. I have a ship to repair and crew members to reprimand. So, I will be off, but good luck on your search. Hopefully I will see you in the ruins.
Mm.
Lovely. And he walks off.
If you're wanting to come, we got a fast way to do it.
Unfortunately, I have my own things I have to deal with right now. But I will stay back. I'm going to assume that the acting commander probably is not going to have the pull to do much to annoy you anymore.
Mm.
Who knows?
nice.
Maybe the commander will pull through. God's speed. And he goes off.
You as well.
And
So-
also with you.
And also with your spirit. Thank you very much. Hey, did you see Kiri's TikTok?
Yeah,
Title was "When you haven't been to the Jedi Temple in a while." May the Force
Yep.
be with you, and also with you. No, actually, it's "and with your Force ghost." When did they change that? If you've
Okay.
never been to a Catholic service, you don't understand why that's hilarious, but it is.
It is. As you can tell, we are all laughing. Those of us who have gone, it's hilarious.
We are, yeah, we are all recovering Catholics, so.
Not a recovering Catholic, but I have been to a pancake jamboree.
The town I lived in had a bar in every street corner, which was across from or I went to high school in, which was the bars were across the street from the Catholic church on every street corner. We had like 7 different Catholic churches.
Because they kept making bars.
Apparently, people would get drunk and then go confess all at the same time. They just had to cross the street. It was great.
No, but the
Right.
priest just had to go and cross the street.
Also, Catholic churches, at least the ones that were in our town, acoustically amazing.
I believe it. That would, sorry to bring it back for just a second. That would be really funny if the bar's name was the Confessional.
It would be.
Whoa.
Every
There are
one of
actually-
these.
There are some bars that actually are repurposed churches.
There were so many, and the bars would change every couple of years because despite the fact that the town was just drunk 90% of the time, they would always go out of business. And so, yeah, we had, I remember one bar that people would call it, because it changed, they would call it the name from like 3 owners ago, just because that was the one that they knew the best.
Fair.
Restaurants are fun. Bars
Yep.
are as well.
Okay, so we're taking. I don't know if this will happen in the current while we're waiting in the time for everything to get going. If we can do, I don't know if this is an old D&D callback. If we have time to take a 20 in searching our ship.
Yeah. You guys can do a full. As far as you can tell, like the ship looks relatively pristine. Thomas kind of fills you in on everything that's going on. He caught like one person kind of stupid around the ship, and he chased him away, and that's it.
That was, if I was doing this, it would be a distraction while someone else did something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thomas was very very good at keeping the ship, and
Yeah.
he after he found the dude kind of poking around, he went back and he checked all the surfaces to make sure nothing was put on there, and he's like, as far as I can tell,
I'm also concerned with, I'm also concerned with our only real advantage in the situation has also not been monkeyed with. The turbo.
As far as I can tell, no one's done anything.
To
So
the upgrades.
if you don't like, seeing as I haven't really had anything else to do, I did make some chili. I think it's rather tasty.
Ooh.
Well, we can
Guy's
go.
gonna go over and like ruffle his hair. Good boy.
Not a pet.
Finally!
By the way, there was a dude came around asking for you guys. He was I don't know about his eye. He's kind of soft spoken. Said he wanted to apologize for what happened to you. You guys have any idea what he's talking about?
Soft spoken.
Yeah, he kind of mumbled a little bit.
Oh
The turtle?
no, the
You have a mop?
He might have.
Oh, we need to go get him.
The janitor!
Yeah, he seemed like a nice bloke. He seemed really upset over what had happened.
Or was it the
Minor illusion. Is this the guy?
Yeah, that's him.
It is him.
I'm assuming. I have no idea what minor illusion you.
The janitor.
Yeah, that's him. He seemed like a nice guy. He just seemed very upset. Wanted to apologise for all the trouble he put you through. He also dropped off a sandwich for some odd reason.
That he
Wasn't a
put
great
us through.
sandwich.
Oh, he's so nice.
Wait.
Wait.
No. That he put us through.
Hey.
Yeah, he said he arrested you or something.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the one who brought us to the shed.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. He seemed like a nice enough fellow. I ate a sandwich.
I'm sorry. Joshua the player is reading into this as something else. Is he like
You can
Yeah,
read it however you would like to read it. I am.
Magic wow.
well,
We
no,
can
this
definitely go and talk to him. Arai
No.
has another caller.
in regards to did he just escort us to the, I think I'm also misreading the situation, but maybe like my
Yeah,
brain's overclocked
so
right now.
he's the one who the guy
No,
who wanted arrested. He's just told the other two who were acting as soldiers that were basically the cleanup crew to take us to the shed. So he's one of the ones that was just told take
Oh.
them in.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's not the janitor who was the asshole. He was the
He was the sweet one.
Yeah, he was the guy that
In
brought
the
you
shed.
sandwiches and.
okay, but he didn't arrest us.
No, he brought us to the shed though.
Okay.
So like technically he did, but in his eyes he might have. But in our eyes he just guided us somewhere. Flimsy and not the best place to keep a barbarian, but you know.
Well, if you really, really like him, you're gonna leave him where he is.
Oh,
You're gonna leave him where he is.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to certain danger.
you're right. He'll be here when we get back. And Arai wanders off.
Should we grab a quick bite to eat and then take off then?
Yeah, quick bite to eat. As soon as Declan's thing arrives, then we get on the ship. As soon as we are out of eyesight of the fort, we are going to really
Jimmy's.
kick it.
But we are gonna just do a double take of the ship and make sure everything looks.
That's what we were
good.
doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you checked over the ship. Seems like it's in good shape. The
Yeah.
climbing gears just dropped off for you guys. And while the rest of the camp is readying for a land trip to the ruins, you guys back off from the dock and you start going. And unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it
No.
tonight. As always, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJoJody. And like I said, on Saturday, come watch us play Civ Stargate. So, that's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Otherwise, again, that is all for me today. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Bye-bye.